Hi guys, Mrs. Delis in here. Welcome to another lesson of Algebra 2. Today's lesson is square root equals linear. We've already learned square root equals constant, square root equals square root, and today we're going to be learning square root to linear. Some equations will have a square root expression on one side and a linear expression on the other side. As long as the square root expression is by itself, then the best thing to do is to square root both sides of the equation. And the result will be quadratic equation, which you should set equal to 0. So let's have an example. I'm going to start with number 2 over here. I have x minus 4 equals square root of 3x minus 4, minus 14. So here we have a linear equals a square root, right? And the first thing to do here is to get rid of the square root, right? And in order for us to do that, we just simply square both sides. And that will eliminate the square root. So we have here 3x minus 14. And of course, we have an x minus 4 squared. And we already know from the past lessons that when we are talking about x minus 4 squared, that just means that we have x minus 4 times another x minus 4. So I'm going to have two of them here. We have x minus 4 times x minus 4 equals 3x minus 14. So I'm just going to FOIL or rainbow or distribute, however you call it. So we'll distribute x minus 4 to x minus 4. So that's x squared minus 4x minus 4x. And negative 4 times negative 4 plus 16 equals 3x minus 14. And because we are dealing with the quadratic in here, we are expecting that we have to do some kind of maybe factoring or completing the square or quadratic formula we don't know yet. So let's try to combine like terms so we can create our quadratic. So we have x squared minus 8x plus 16 equals 3x minus 14. So I'm going to combine. So I'm going to subtract 3x in there. And I'm going to add 14. Then we have x squared minus 11x plus 30 equals 0. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, we are going to factor. We don't have to do completing the square really because it looks like it would just work with factoring. We are looking for two numbers that when we multiply, we'll get 30. When we add, we'll get negative 11. So that's two numbers that, or factors of 30 that will add to negative 11. And that is minus 6 and minus 5, right? Because negative 6 times negative 5 will give you a positive 30. Negative 6 plus negative 5 will give you negative 11. Because we're making them both equal to 0, let us do that over here. X minus 6 equal to 0, that is a positive 6. We will also do the same thing for x minus 5 equal to 0, we'll get a positive 5. Now we have two answers, we have 5 and 6. But we need to make sure for any extraneous solution, so we have to plug in both the 6 and the 5 to our original equation. So I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so we can see our original equation. So I'm going to have, usually what I do is I do left and right side. Okay, let us plug in x equals 6. And let's see if we plug in x equals 6, will the left and the right side will have the same answer. So let's me write the original equation first. And we'll plug in 6. So that's 6 minus 4. That's a 2. And that's 3 times 6 minus 14. That's 18 minus 14. That's the square root of 4, right? And the square root of 4 is 2. So 2 on the left and 2 on the right. That means the 6 works. The 6 is one of our answers. Now, let's try to see if, so 6 works. I'm going to put a check mark in there. Now, let me try to plug in x equals 5. So that's x minus 4, 3x minus 14. So 5 minus 4 is a positive 1. 3 times 5, minus 14. That's 15 minus 14. That's square root of 1. And square root of 1 is just 1. So both of them work. So my final answer is 5 and 6. So, question. Miss, what if when I plug in 6, the answers equal to each other, but when I plug in 5, the answers were not equal to each other? If that happens, then the 6 is only our only answer here, and the 5 will not be our answer because 5 will be an extraneous solution, right? Because when we plug in 5, the right side and the left side does not equal to each other, so 5 does not work. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try number 3. We have square both sides to eliminate the square root. We have x plus 1 and x minus 5 squared. Okay? Let's have x minus 5 times x minus 5 equals x plus 1. And again, all you have to do is to FOIL, to distribute this one, to multiply x minus 5 to x minus 5. X squared minus 5x minus 5x plus 25 equals x plus 1. And then you'll combine like terms. Minus 10x plus 25 equals x plus 1. And then you will get rid of this one in here, and you will subtract x and subtract 1. And now we have, you can even do, but I usually just convert that. So that's x squared minus, 11 is famous, minus 11x plus 24 equals 0. So here, you're looking for a number, or you're looking for factors of 24 that will add up to negative 11. So two numbers that when you multiply, you'll get 24. When you add, you'll get negative 11. So what is that? Negative 8 and a negative 3. Right? So our answer here, x minus 8 equal to 0. That's positive 8, but we need to check to verify if it works. And then x minus 3 equal to 0 is a positive 3. So we have two answers that we need to check if they work when we plug that in. So I have a left and a right side. Let's copy our equations first. We have x minus 5 on the left. We have x square root of x plus 1 on the right. First, let us plug in x equals 8. So let's plug in x equals 8. That's technically 8 minus 5. That's a 3. And then 8 plus 1, square root of 9, that's a 3. So 3 works, check and check. So 8 works. Now let's check if the 3 would work. Okay, we have x minus 5, x plus 1. What's plug in 3? That's 3 minus 5 is negative 2. And then we have 3 plus 1, square root of 4, and that's a 2. So it looks like it didn't work because we have a negative 2 on the left, we have a positive 2 on the right. Therefore, the positive 3 is not our answer. The only 8 would work. Does that make sense? So instead of writing 3 comma 8, you're just writing 8 because 3 is what we call an extraneous solution, that when we plug in 3 over here, they don't equal to each other. The left side and the right side does not equal to each other. Okay, so you need to be careful to make sure that you check your solution by plugging it back to the original equation to see if it worked. Okay, example number 4. We have 9 minus x. Square, cancel. You have a squared. You have an x minus 3. So that's 9 minus x. 9 minus x equals x minus 3. So we have 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times negative x. Negative x times 9. Negative x times negative x is positive x squared. X minus 3. And then we will move this one onto the other side. That's minus x plus 3, right? So that is 81 plus 3 is 84 minus, wait, hold on, I forgot to combine first. Let's combine first. So it's not that hard to. 81 minus 18x plus x squared equals x minus 3. There you go. We move that one, so we subtract x on both sides, and we add 3 on both sides. So that's 84 minus 19x plus x squared equals 0. So if it's confusing you, we can rewrite that. Let's rewrite that. X squared minus 19x plus 84 equals to 0. So we're looking for, what are we looking for? We're looking for two numbers or factors of 84. Two numbers that when we multiply, we'll get 84. When we add, we'll get negative 19. So that would be, what about 12 and 7? Right? So negative 7 times negative 12 is positive 84. Negative 7 plus negative 12 is negative 19. So our answers are x minus 7 equals 0 is 7. X minus 12 equals 0, it's 12. So you're not just gonna put 7 and 12 in here, because you need to make sure that if you plug in 7 to the equation, will they be equal to each other? When you plug in 12 to the equation, will they be equal to each other? Right? You have to ask yourself that. So I'm going to erase that for now. And I'm going to, there you go. I have a left side and right side. So first, let's plug in 7. Let's see if 7 works. So I have 9 minus x, x minus 3. So 9 minus x. So 9 minus 7. Right? That's a 2, isn't it? And then here we have 7 minus 3. That's a 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So when you plug in 7 7 works. So 7 is our part of our final answer. But we would also want to check does 12 works. Like if I plug in 12, will I get the same number on both sides? So that's 9 minus x minus 3. So 9 minus 12 is negative 3. And then we have 9 minus 12. Oh, hello. 12 minus 3. And then 12 minus 3 is a positive 9. And then, of course, square root of 9 is a 3. And they are not equal to each other, right? So 12 is not going. So you know how it's supposed to be 7 comma 12 because those are our x's. But because 12 doesn't work, 12 is not part of our solution. 12 is what we call an extraneous solution. Okay? Thank you guys, and hopefully you've learned something today on how to solve square root equals linear. Don't forget to, after you factor, after you get two values of x, make sure to plug that to the original equation to see if the left and the right side of the equation will be equal to each other. Okay? Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.